Sup YouTube, this is K-pop Chatter with you guys, and I'm here with a new vid. I'm back. I apologize for not, how do I put this, for being on such a long break. I just had so much work lately. Ever since after Christmas ended and the new semester started, I was just getting piled with work. So much stuff. But anyways, I miss doing YouTube vids, so I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna start coming back basically, and here I am, and I'm probably gonna try to be as active as possible from now on. If you're wondering about the MVs, the K-pop MVs that I missed, don't worry, I've watched them obviously. G-Dragon, Size. I've been keeping up with K-pop for sure. I just didn't have enough time to film and edit the vid, so that's the main reason, but I have seen them, so I'm up to date for sure. I am also going to do a 4-minute What's Your Name reaction video. I might even do a group teaser reaction vid, I don't know yet. But I will do a 4-minute What's Your Name reaction because I am so hyped up for that. Anyways, yeah, so this is basically my 300 subscriber special Q&A, which I'll be getting into later. If you want, you can also leave a question that you want to ask me in the description, in the comment section, and I'll answer that in the next Q&A vid, which will be when I hit 400, 500-ish subscribers. I'll probably do another one. So that's how it's gonna work. So without further ado, I will do the Q&A vid, and yeah, so let's get this thing started. Sham Stew asks, do you watch hockey, and if so, what's your favorite team? I actually don't watch hockey at all. Despite being Canadian, I really don't watch hockey. What's my favorite team? Cause I'm Toronto area basically, and I heard the Toronto Maple Leafs are in the playoffs, I think. That's what's been going around. I really don't watch hockey or keep up to date with it. But it's not really my favorite team, Toronto Maple Leafs. I really don't have a favorite team, so I just don't watch it. But I'll support Toronto Maple Leafs because they're in the playoffs, and then that's pretty big, because when's the last time the Leafs have been in the playoffs? I have no idea. Alright, next question. One Brown Eyes One asks, are there any group/artists who you think are underrated in the K-pop industry? Oh my gosh, she hit the nail right on the head there. Definitely, I have to agree with this. There are so many groups and artists that I think are underrated in the K-pop industry, that's not even funny. Despite being so popular, 4-minute, I wouldn't say they're ridiculously mainstream. I mean, Hyuna is really popular, obviously. Her teaser has like what, 1 point something mil views already. Obviously, Gangnam Style probably had to factor that in because, oh my gosh. And now Gain's also getting popularity from Psy, so they're getting attention, and so is the Abracadabra dance from Brown Eyed Girls MV. Brown Eyed Girls is underrated. I think they're pretty underrated. I mean, before the Gentleman MV from Psy, which Abracadabra probably has quite a few views now, to be honest. And yeah, but I still think they're pretty underrated. Who else? CSJH was like so underrated when it was their era in K-pop. So underrated. Miss S is underrated. If you don't know who Miss S is, they're this group basically, female group, and they're ridiculously underrated. I'm not sure. I think they might have like 1 MV or like few MV. I'm not really sure. I don't think I only saw 1 MV from Miss S. They're so good though. Like their songs, their music is so good. The rapping is amazing. So you check Miss S out if you can. Group/artists. Ajax is pretty underrated, I think, now, because BAP, EXO, Newest, some B2B's debut. I guess Ajax kind of got left out. They're from DSP, the same entertainment company as Kara, so they are pretty underrated if I compare them to the other boy groups that have debuted in 2012. So they're underrated. There's a bunch. I can list like a lot of them, but those are just the ones that just come straight into my mind that are really, really underrated. Of course, there's a lot. Let's see. Alright, so that's my opinion. But yeah, definitely so many artists and groups that are underrated in K-pop. Actually, Yoonha's also pretty underrated. Anyway, back to the thing. Alright, so Steffi177 asks, what is your favorite anime and why? This is such a hard question as well, because as you see, I have my Orin High School Host Club jacket on. My favorite anime. This is so hard. Yeah, this is really hard because I like various genres in anime, like, and mangas as well. I like various genres, so just picking one anime straight from like the one anime that I really, really love over all the rest, it's like impossible for me. But out of the big three, which I think were, what were they? Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. Out of those three, I'm liking Bleach a lot right now. Bleach's arc right now and the flashbacks are pretty damn good. Naruto, it was kind of lacking a few weeks ago, but the chapter that got released recently was actually ridiculously good, so Naruto's doing good. One Piece, I think, is one of those that, like, how do I put this? It's getting so interesting in One Piece. I can't even explain how good it's going to become. I don't want to spoil it for any of you who didn't read/watch One Piece, but the arc that it's going to now and the stuff that's going to progress afterward is going to be big. I can already see that. So all three of them actually right now I think are doing really, really good. I'm liking all three of those. So Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece are doing pretty good. Naruto, I would rank, actually yeah, I'd rank all of them about even-ish. Anticipation wise, I am leaning toward One Piece just because the plot I feel has so much surprises to unravel and a lot of stuff that's going to be covered. Bleach as well because, like, come on. And Naruto, I can kind of see what's going to happen there, so it's like, but definitely those three are good. Let's see, what else can I say? Favorite animes. In my head, I really liked Asura Crying, which is a mecha anime. It was, I think, had a bit of romance in it. I really love the story of that one though. What else? Asu no Yoichi, I love that anime. It's freaking hilarious. What else do I like? There's so many of them. Rosario Vampire, I have to say, that was one of my favorites back in the day. Not back in the day, I feel like I'm saying it's like been years and years ago. It wasn't that long ago. But that's the anime that got me into that kind of genre, to be honest, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's just so many of them that I love. It's just so hard to pick. Death Note was pretty epic. Yeah, just so many animes out there that are so good. I can't pick one. It's impossible for me, but those are some of the few that I really loved. But I'm missing out a lot because I love so many of them. But yeah, so on to the next question. When did the first time, by Yunyo, when did the first time you start loving Soshi? Are you really Canadian? I mean, you seem like an Asian. Alright, to this question. I am Asian. I'm Canadian. Yes, I really am Canadian. I'm just ridiculously Asian because if I want to describe myself, I'm really not really isolated, but really like there's a barrier between me and the Canadian/American mainstream. I'm really Asian in the fact that I'm not into American music that much. I'm into rock and heavy metal and all that, but not American pop mainstream. That's definitely not me. I'm definitely into the K-pop/J-pop/J-rock realm. Same with mangas. I'm really into those as well, definitely. Actually, that's one of the main reasons why I've been in such a long hiatus, is because mangas and work. So much, I've been reading too much manga. So yeah. Now, if you're wondering about the title of the vid that said how I met SNSD, it's because of this person's question, and I'm gonna answer that. When is the first time you start loving Soshi? Alright, so basically, when I was young, not really that young, but I would say grade 6, 5-ish, maybe. I'm guessing it's grade 6. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't into K-pop at that time. I was definitely a hardcore J-rock fan because I was into anime since I was like born. I was raised in anime practically. Pokemon, Digimon, what else? Yu-Gi-Oh! I was basically raised in anime when I was younger. So definitely all the OSTs and all the musics from the anime definitely I definitely adapted a sense to like it a lot, and that's why I think that's the reason why I like it so much now too. I wasn't into K-pop that much then. Big Bang would be the first group I ever knew in K-pop. I think it was Big Bang. But the first ever group that I actually just bothered to listen to / take a look at into more depth was SNSD. SNSD was the first group I could say that I was interested in the most. But Big Bang, I believe, was the first one I heard about. Anyways, Boa. Oh wait, yeah, Boa. Actually, probably Boa. Anyways, okay, so when I was in grade 6, I went to my cousin's house for Christmas, and him and his cousin, they were around the computer watching the MV. I believe the MV was Tell Me Your Wish or / Genie by SNSD. And me being in grade 6, okay, I wouldn't say I was very much into, not like, how do I put this? I wasn't that interested in girls at the time, obviously. I was just like, meh, you know, okay, whatever. I wasn't interested in girlfriend and all that stuff. I was just neutral. I mean, basically, I really didn't care about girls that much that time. I didn't like, kind of, how do I put this without sounding so bad? Okay, let's just say I wasn't interested in them that much. Then he showed me SNSD MV, right? And so I saw it when I was in grade 6, and I was like, okay, this isn't bad. And then boom, it just like Cupid, man. Cupid's arrow like into my heart right there. Into my heart, Cupid, man, I swear. I just like went from like this much interest to like this much interest. Like, honestly, I was like developing the biggest fanboyism there. I was like, oh my gosh. Of course I didn't show it when I was there in his house. I was just like, meh. But in my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. When I saw the MV, basically my cousin was like, hey, come here, Chad, come on, come watch this MV. And I'm like, okay, I'll see it, because, you know, I was just playing PS2 at the time. Kingdom Hearts was like the best thing ever back then. So I was like playing Kingdom Hearts, and he's like, come watch this MV. I'm like, okay. So I go watch, and literally my face went like from this to this. Cause like, I was like, wow, what? I was like mind blown. That was like, if there was one thing I learned about the world back then, it was, oh my gosh, what have I been doing this whole time? I should have been fanboying over them like ever since debut. That's what I was thinking back then. And then my cousin obviously had a huge crush on them. I believe I developed like the biggest crush on Tiffany. I wasn't really much into Taeyeon back then though. I know Tiffany was one of them. I think Jessica was another one, and I wasn't into Yuri either back then. Who was I into? I believe it was Tiffany, Jessica, and who else did I love in the MV when I was in grade 6/7? I believe it was I think it was Sunny actually. Was it Sunny? It might have been Sunny. Oh well, I guess I kind of liked Taeyeon back then, but definitely Tiffany and Jessica were like up there. Like, they were like my biggest bias list ever. Like, I'm not even joking. When I saw them first, I was like, those two stood out to me the most. I was just like, oh my god. So that basically that was me back then when I saw those two. But now if you see my vids for SNSD reactions, my top 3 biases are definitely Taeyeon, Tiffany, and Yuri. Those 3 are definitely my top 3 bias in SNSD now. But yeah, that was me back then. You can only imagine like a little kid, like what do you call it? Seeing something like that. That was like the biggest puberty spike to me personally, like ever. That one incident, I was just like, oh my god, I can't. That was like life changing. I could still remember that day clearly in my head. That was like the start of a new era for me. It was like to start fresh and everything. So that ever since that day, I also got into K-pop so much. I was researching, doing everything back then. So after that, I went home, started typing in SNSD, blah blah blah, and I was like, and then I started learning their names back then as well. And that was like the biggest challenge ever, because I was just like, oh my gosh, this is actually so difficult. Because, you know, grade 6/7, I'm just like typing in their names, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they all look so similar, some of them, and I'm like, But basically that's how I got into SNSD. That was the first time I heard about SNSD, was from my cousin. So I thank him for that, because that is like, that's what makes who I am today, basically. But yeah, that was pretty darn hilarious back then. And yeah, that's the first time I basically developed an interest, because I was like, oh my god. Basically, I was like, in my mind, I'm like, wow, they're hot. That's seriously what I thought when I first saw them. I was like, okay, this is awesome. And ever since that day, I've been into K-pop, and yeah, I have to thank him for that. So thank you to my cousin, Charles, who showed me to that. And yeah, that's the Q&A for this vid, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I will probably be, I would say, more active. I'm gonna be more active, obviously. I miss talking to you guys. I miss looking at comments and replying to them. All that stuff I miss doing. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. And I am going to be doing a 4-minute reaction, so look forward to that. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.